be the real niggas. Back with that hard street shit. Bitch niggas be pissing a fit, but I'll say fuck 'em.
Alright, so I made a decent bit of progress with day 2 of restoring this old Tercel. Now real quick before we get started, make sure you stick around until the end of the video for a special announcement. Also, before I get into the work I did this round, I want to ask a question to all of you, the viewers. I like to give my cars and bikes nicknames, and I've been having a tough time coming up with a nickname for this one. My first car, a 97 Tercel, was named the Blue Blur. My current daily, a 2016 Civic, I named Stinky, after its smelly oil catch can. And my blue mini bike is nicknamed the Blue Bastard. So I want you all to come up with a clever nickname for this old 87 Tercel, as I can't quite seem to get one that fits yet. Anyways, on to day 2's progress. So I didn't film it, but remember day 1 where I had a very rotten bottom piece to the driver's side fender? Well, there was no way of saving that easily, so I ended up just chopping that bit off, forming up a new piece from 20 gauge sheet metal, and then welding it all together. Now before some people decide to start roasting my welds in the comments, remember this. 1. My only experience welding comes from stick welding. 2. I've MIG welded twice before in my life. Yeah, so after I got all that on, I cleaned up the welds, treated the bare metal to prevent future rust, then got to work putting on the short strand glass filler. The reason I didn't film the welding is mainly because I didn't want to damage my only working camera. So again, I'm not an expert or certified for any of the work I'm doing here, but anyways, after I laid on the short strand, I got to sanding and shaping. I'll be honest, I did use a good amount of the short strand here, but I like it over regular filler as it's much stronger. It's just a bitch to sand. But yeah, after hours of hand and electric sanding, here's the results. After that, I filled in some small air bubble spots with filler, sanded those areas, then did a final wet sand with Scotch-Brite to get the panel ready for primer. The primer went on really nice with this fender. There wasn't much wind or sun when I sprayed it, which is what I like when doing rattle can jobs like this. And since I don't have any professional painting tools, this is how I'll have to do the majority of the paint on this car. Speaking of painting, I also bought Color Match and 2K Clear Coat for this car. However, I will not do any actual painting on this car until I'm done with all the body work and it's all primed and wet sanded. The reason for this is so I can avoid getting the bare paint dirty before the 2K Clear goes on. If you've never worked with 2K Clear, it's a very good looking clear coat. However, it's very sensitive to dirty surfaces and surfaces that have not been properly prepped. Also, for anyone curious if I'll be doing a new color or the same, I'll be sticking with the original color of the Toyota Blue Metallic. If you're curious as to what the color code is for this color match, it's Toyota 8D7. There's a very similar color called Steel Blue Metallic with the color code 8D6, which is also used on these wagons. So if you can't find the code on your wagon and think it's one of the two, call your local Toyota dealer and have them verify it using your VIN number on your wagon. I was very close to getting the wrong color until I verified it with my local Toyota dealer. I'm pretty sure the code 8D6 is used for the front-wheel drive only wagons, but don't quote me on that. So before I end this video, I want to give a little update on the wagon itself. I just recently had it out again for a weekend and it performed excellent. For the most part. I still need to fix the water pump and most mechanical parts on this car, but that hasn't kept this scrappy old Toyota from running. I recently discovered some electrical faults with the blower motor relay, possibly failing transmission synchros first, second, and third gear, and a bad wheel bearing. The battery is 10 years old, the timing belt is 13 years old, and finally I'm glad to report that this Toyota 3AC motor, after 307,000 kilometers and 33 years on the roads, does not burn a drip of oil. I was also having some difficulty finding some parts like replacement front fenders, a proper steering wheel, replacement headlamps, springs for the suspension, and spare driveline parts. None of these are made new anymore, so I'll have to locate them from different sources. None of my local junkyards have anything that I can get. I've already contacted a few JDM importers for parts and cars, and sadly none of them will bother with a car like this, as people only really care about drift parts and whatnot. Ugh. Drifters and JDM shit. Anyways, the only good response I got was from Brian Stephenson of B-Pro Importers. He helped me find some places that might do parts in a container, but as of writing this script, I've only heard back from 2 places I contacted, and sadly it's the same story. The other importers for parts only really deal with drift parts and don't care about other such things as well. So at that point I just said fuck it and posted an ad on Kijiji asking for 83 to 88 Tercel wagon parts for sale. And I've now gotten a contact and I just need to go see what the person has. But anyways guys, that's it for day 2. Hopefully you're all enjoying this form of content, and I know it's not my usual type of content, but working on cars is a big passion of mine. And now for that special announcement I mentioned at the beginning of the video. Our boy Mr. Fisty has created a Discord he'd like to share with you all. It's called Anime Club International. It's an anime-oriented Discord server that's meant for discussing and watching anime together with others. The invite link can be found in the description below. Anyways, that's all for me now. Until next time guys, peace out.
The motherfucking world is a ghetto, full of magazines, full ghetto. I'm just looking for a big yellow. In 6-inch stilettos, Dr. Dre. Hello. Percolating, keep 'em waiting while you sitting there hating. Your bitch is hyperventilating, hoping that we penetrating. You get snating, cause I never been to Satan. But hardcore administrating, gangbang affiliating. MC Winner had you wildin' off a zone and a whole half a gallon. Get the dialing, 911 emergency. You can tell him, it's my son, he's hurting me, and he's a felon. On parole for robbery, ain't no copping a plea. Ain't no stopping the G. I'm in the 6, you got to hop in the 3. Company monopoly, you handle shit sloppily. I drop a key properly.